Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm drinking a lot of water. My throat, I've been having a rough time this morning, but I'm getting through it. I don't normally let being sick stop me, and I'm not starting now. Circle is, I just wanted to show you this because they're doing advertising left and right. You'll probably notice the ads popping up in your feed on the X platform. This is just another one of their advertisements, and I just wanted to remind everybody that Link2 has had Circle up on the platform. Link2 is one of my sponsors. They've got it. Last time I checked, they had it up on the platform. I am a Circle private equity owner in full disclosure. All right, check it out. It's linqto.com. John Deaton was doing a live stream today where he updated us on the possibilities of settlement in the SEC versus Ripple case.
The one thing I can say, and what's this mean for XRP? It means that I don't think there's any talks of settlement. And I've said that for a long time now. They're just not. This is still scorched earth litigation, even in the remedy stage. I don't believe there is. That doesn't mean it won't happen. That doesn't mean that it can't be a phone call and come together rather quickly. It doesn't matter that if there's a ruling from this judge and the SEC thinks that they can get more from Ripple in a settlement than she might rule. Maybe that'll make them come to the table because then they can spin it versus getting another ruling that embarrasses them as an organization. So I'm not saying settlement can't happen or won't happen. I'm just saying, updating you all, that it's not happening today as far as I know, and this litigation sort of proves that.
Okay, so that's where he's at. Now, I wanted to show you this, and I don't remember if I showed you this clip before, but we saw this week Saudi Arabia joins the BRICS. And so this stuff's all kind of coming to a head. There's two videos I want to show you. In the second one, he's going to show you what's the final nail in the coffin, but this kind of sets the stage for it.
But look, over the last several years, what we have seen is a concerted effort by the...
And by the way, this is Andy Schechtman from Miles Franklin, one of my sponsors.
Very powerful money centers, the central banks in particular, to use the Western suppression of the COMEX markets to accumulate natural resources. And look, it's not just gold and silver. There's a long list of commodities, grains, soybeans, aluminum, gold, uranium, titanium. I mean, the list goes on and on. That would be China. And it goes to the point that these countries are, the reason they're not bitching yet is because they're accumulating it. But once it becomes obvious that the availability of commodities is becoming, very, very scarce, and that no one wants to sell it at these make-believe prices, and the public realizes, my goodness, what have we been missing? Maybe in concert with a breakdown in the financial system or the banking system. That's when you would see that type of implementation where the public, manipulation be damned.
I do think you have make-believe prices in gold and silver and some of these precious metals.
Give it to me. I need it now. Well, that's when you would start to see the circuit breakers be put into place. In the meantime, people pulling the strings, well, they don't want the circuit breakers triggered because that shines a light on what they're doing. Instead, they continue to manipulate and suppress the system, not only the actual exchanges, but the rhetoric surrounding them in order for them to run cover for the de-dollarization, to be sitting in the catbird seat when the rest of the world says, oh my God, what have I missed? And bang, you start to see the circuit breakers triggered. And that's something I think you could definitely see happening, but that would be a very late stage phenomena where the big, smart, sophisticated, well-funded, and well-informed traders have already they're sitting on their deck seat, sipping a margarita, watching the chaos unfold, and as the rest of the people scurry for whatever scraps are left.
I like the hashtag Comex589. Then he was on with KitGo News this week, and this is where he tells you what would be the final nail, what would be the flip the switch moment of all this.
I want to be clear what you think the key moment is. Is it the Saudis taking a step as bold as refusing the dollar for oil at some point, saying we only accept this new common currency? What does that flipping of the switch actually look like?
Look, these BRICS nations wouldn't even have to do something that provocative, although I think they may. They could say one of two things. They could say we're taking other currencies besides dollars, and just that admission alone.
But they've said that. They've practically said that.
They said we're open to it, but they haven't said we're going to. We'll take these 5 or 6 currencies. Or maybe it's more along the lines of they just say to all of the BRICS members, which represent the majority of human population, is that we're going to trade in local currencies, or we're going to trade in gold, or whatever it may be. If the desire or the need to hold U.S. dollars is waning to that degree, or in fact is completely disincentivized, it creates a massive, massive problem for the U.S., a country that has chosen inflation over austerity the way that we have, a country that is, when you factor in unfunded liabilities, 150 trillion in the hole with 5 trillion in assets, a country that is in essence insolvent, that goes around the word bullying people and doing things in a coercive manner, I think is incentivizing the world to find alternatives. And that's just it, is that, yes, all people say, well, the dollar and the U.S. bond market is the cleanest dirty shirt in the laundry hamper, but I think that's where gold comes into play. I think that's where blockchain technology comes into play.
And that's why I want to get clear on this flipping of the switch, because we are already seeing these countries saying we're going to trade in our own currencies and doing so. We're already seeing oil being sold for dirham and for rupees and for rubles and for petro yuan converted into gold. It's already happening. So again, what is that sort of watershed moment that makes that switch flip irreversibly? What is that?
An outright admission, an outright statement from OPEC. We're not taking dollars anymore. I mean, Brazil just applied to OPEC. You have the majority of all of the oil production in the world. If they say we don't want dollars any longer, it creates a very, very, very big problem.
OPEC. Check this out. I mean, it just feels like all the dominoes are falling, folks. Look at this. This time is different. Correct its words. Strap in, folks. Bank failures by the year. This is from Zach Rector. Bank failures by the year. This is 2008. This is 2023. That is pretty creepy. Now look at this. 2 of the biggest bank failures in U.S. history happened in March 2023. Silicon Valley Bank and Signature. And then ever since then, everything's hunky-dory, right? These were bailed out, as I recall. Now, check this out. Somebody finally says it's not just about Bitcoin and Ethereum.
The partnership that we have with FTSE Russell to deliver the crypto sectors. And so this is not just about Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is about an entirety of an asset class that's being developed, and the way to think about it, and to define a vernacular, and to think about, crypto investing in the form of sectors, just like, investors have, become very comfortable in the equity marketplace about thinking about sector allocations and overweights and underweights. And so we're really excited about the future. We think that this is just the beginning. We're super pleased at the engagement we had and the ability for us to deliver on our promise to our investors. And this is just the beginning.
Now, I think this is very important. I wanted to show you this. We've talked a lot about CBDCs and how there are people who would love, I can't say it out here on YouTube, I'll say it in the private group, but people who would love to use CBDCs for evil. And I've talked many times about how all of this could be used for good or for evil. Any technology could. You can use nuclear for energy or for a bomb, and that goes for anything. I can use a drone to do aerial surveillance for real estate to show people property, or it could be used to put a bomb on it and blow people up. I mean, so it goes like this for any technology. That's why I've never understood these people are like, we have to ban the CBDCs and all. We have to ban this or that. It's not a matter of that. And I think that Chris Giancarlo, who's with the Digital Dollar Project, is addressing it here.
The benchmark thus far is China's digital yuan, which is designed for full surveillance of the population. And if that model were to be the basis for a digital currency here in the United States, it would be a disaster. It would violate the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, amongst other things, but it would be a disaster. But let's put that in context for a second. So can a stable coin. Okay, so can any type of centralized system of value is going to be a honeypot for a massive amount of data. So whether the government does it directly with a digital currency or does it indirectly by pressuring stablecoin operators to suck out all the data and hand it over to the government, as they've done with social media platforms.
Right.
The concern about privacy is the key concern. That's why we formed the Digital Dollar Project, to really encourage the United States to lead with its values. The United States doesn't need to focus on whether or not to deploy a digital dollar right now, but it must take a leadership seat at the table that is today deciding what these digital networks of value, both sovereign and non-sovereign, are going to look like, because our economic competitors like Europe and our economic adversaries like China are at the table right now. And in China's case, they want to ensure a digital future of money that is safe for surveillance and safe for censorship.
Right.
We need to assure a digital future that's safe for democracy.
Right. And so if China does one that's for surveillance and we do one that's for freedom, guess who wins? Guess who everybody in the world would want to be involved in? Not China. That's how you win. Now, this is the Digital Dollar Project's website, and this is the global convening section. Just wanted to show you down here who some of the companies involved in the Digital Dollar Project are. There is Stellar, there's H-Bar, keep going, we'll see, there's Hyperledger, Accenture, Visa. Ooh, what is that, Ripple? I see, yes, it's Ripple. Go figure, folks. Now, you're in luck because Chris Giancarlo, who's running the Digital Dollar Project, is going to be at XRP Las Vegas. Here he is right here. He's going to be one of the speakers, and so is Perianne Boring. She's going to be there as well, and many more, David Schwartz. And I know that there are other major people in the works that can't be talked about right now. And they're also going to have the satellite event, Chamber of Digital Commerce. This is not included in the payment for XRP Las Vegas is totally separate from this. But this is Brad Garlinghouse is going to be a guest speaker, as well as John Deaton, Michael Arrington, Eleanor Terrett, and Chris Giancarlo. So this will be an intimate setting for their fundraiser, and they just lowered the prices on their fundraiser, by the way. I think they cut them almost in half or lower. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out. That's a satellite event at XRP Las Vegas. If you want XRP Las Vegas tickets, I have all the links in the description of this. If you want a discount, go to daixrp.com, my member group. We're going to go into the member group now, and I'm going to show you a video. I think this changes the game, folks, and if we had hundreds more people doing what this guy did, it probably would straighten out our country once and for all. These people need to be exposed for what they're doing to this country and the lies they're telling, and this guy does it. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. You got to see this. This is wild. Here we go.